Hello everybody, Namaste, Salam and Sat Sri Akal. Welcome to the multi-channel attribution app navigation video. Without any further ado, let me get started at once. Launching the channel attribution app, please log into Zero Code Learning using your credentials and go and launch the channel attribution app. So let's have a look. I'll close this one here. I've logged into Zero Code Learning and this is the channel attribution app, and when you launch it, it will look like this. It looks slightly different from the regular apps that we've seen so far. It is based entirely on a single package, the reference for which is found in the last one. Okay. All right, we have 1, 2, 3 output tabs and 1, 2, 3, 3 input tabs. One is to load the input data, one is path separator, and one is the order of the Markov model. I'll come to all of this shortly. Acha. So we examined the app layout, 3 output tabs and 3 input controls. For this particular example, I will use the demo dataset which is built into the app itself. To use this data set, click the load demo data button. So the load demo data button is here. You click it and it will basically show you, it will show you what the data are like. So you can, 25 entries. There are a total of 10,000 entries. Okay. So the fields in the data set are path, okay, total conversions, total conversion value, and total null. You can select these four. These 4 are the minimum required to run the app. If you input a new data set instead of the demo data set, you will have to specify which of them is the path variable, which of them is the conversion variable, and so on. Now, I'm going to reuse a slide which was shown before, but there it is. What are these things, these paths and so on? Okay, so imagine traffic sources or channels with, with Greek letters. So we will label them with Greek letters, alpha, beta, gamma, etc. Okay, so a customer path, yeah. So for instance, alpha leading to gamma, leading to beta, leading to gamma, okay, this one here implies a visitor came thrice, first from alpha, then from beta, and then from gamma, okay. So here, for instance, a visitor came twice, first from beta and then from the eta channel and so on. What are these channels? I mean, these could be things like Google search, organic search, a banner ad, Facebook ad, something like that, yeah. Okay. Once a visitor has arrived at the destination, which is our landing page, which is, our site, then what do they do? Okay, we are interested in certain actions that we call conversions, outcomes of interest. Okay, these could be, for instance, a sale conversion, someone makes a purchase transaction, they register their email for content, they give a like or they subscribe to a channel and so on. So these are all actions which imply outcomes of interest, which we call conversion. Okay. Null implies the lack of a positive outcome. So let me in some sense go back here and show you. So this is total number of conversions. This particular path, about one person, one visitor took this path and got converted. There were 3 people who took this path but who have not yet converted. So a null means somebody who hasn't taken the outcome action of interest yet. They could convert tomorrow, but they've still not in some sense converted. So, and this is the value of that one conversion that we have. Okay, it could be in rupees, dollars, CLV, customer lifetime value, and so on. It could be different things. Okay, so there it is. Okay. Customer paths, well, this is where it is. Let null imply a lack of positive outcome. Indeterminate, visitor could still convert on the next visit, and we saw this. So we saw these 3 different fields. Now, any data that fits these parameters can be loaded into the app. Select the Markov order K, and results are basically importance weights for channel attribution. So this is what the results will look like. And you can see the different attribution schemes, first touch, last touch, linear touch, and the Markov model are available for each different channel. Okay, so this is what will come. Let's have a look at this. For this, we will have to go to the Outputs tab. Let's say I'm using a first order Markov for now. I will use a second order Markov later. Once you have chosen all of these, please click on run and the machine will execute it. It will automatically take you to the output tab. Now the output tab contains 3 outputs of interest. Let me walk you through each of them. The first output tab shows, well, total conversions, weight attribution to the different channels. Okay, so alpha, beta, etc. So this is giving you weight attribution based on total conversions. So if you look at alpha channel, for instance, yeah, total conversion is more than 6,000 in some sense under first touch attribution scheme. This is 8,000 plus under last touch attribution scheme. About 7,500 based on the linear touch attribution scheme, but under Markov, this is just a little over 5,000. Note the huge difference in values, attribution values based on which particular attribution scheme is chosen. Okay? In this case, alpha, Markov model, first order Markov is giving it the least of the attribution weight. It's still highest among all the channels, but relatively compared to other schemes, it is giving you the lowest. The opposite happens in lambda. Lambda, here we see that a Markov model is giving it the highest attribution weight compared to the other attribution schemes. Okay. So this is total conversions. So we saw this and we saw how much each channel would get under different attribution schemes. The total conversion value attribution plot. So if you go below this, this is the weights attribution for conversion value, and you can see again here alpha, it is the Markov model giving it relatively the lowest attribution weight among the other three, among the attribution schemes, and similarly similar pattern observed with lambda also. Please note how much it varies, how much, the choice of attribution scheme matters, and you can see how much variation there is. And lastly, we have the tabulated average conversion count and value count by channel. So let's have a look at this. If you go below here, you will see, let's make it 25. So all the way from alpha to zeta, different channels, it is giving you the average, the total value. So alpha was under the first touch scheme, gave about 6,308 conversions. This is pretty much what you would get here. So the data used in this plot are basically, made here. And you can go and check what happens to the Markov conversions and Markov value. Okay. Similarly for all the other channel names. You can download this table. Yeah, you can just click on download and download the table. Now, remember, we had chosen Markov first order. What does first order Markov mean? It means that each channel attribution will only consider one period before it. Okay, so all the information that it will consider at most comes from one period prior. Okay, one channel prior, nothing more than that. Whereas if I choose a second order Markov model, what it would do is it would choose information, or it would use information from up to 2 periods in the past. So if you run this, this is a second order Markov, and you can see that, well, the other 3 will be the same. Markov values will start to change. Okay, Markov values start to change. So this was 18,000 something previously, it is now 19,000. So the Markov values start to change. Okay.